There are many strategies teachers use to manage their classrooms. Though some strategies are more effective than others, it is important for teachers to have their own philosophy as to how to manage their students. As future teachers, we have created our own philosophy for classroom management that we believe will allow teachers and students to reach their highest potential. Our philosophy consists of only 3 simple components. These 3 components are motivation, behavior, and positive relationships.
Motivation. Motivating students is simple if you combine expectation with value and climate. By doing so, teachers must expect that their students can successfully accomplish the task. The teachers must also make sure that the students find value in the task, and the teacher must create a supportive environment for the students to complete the task. If these 3 components are not met, the student will be unmotivated to learn. In addition, students will be more motivated to learn if the teacher is able to meet the student's needs. For example, the student may need more creativity, more help with an assignment, or a more challenging assignment. One way of creating motivated learners is if teachers assign a type of value to their curriculum. These values can either be of intrinsic, attainment, or utility value. Intrinsic value is when students are interested in the curriculum and find enjoyment in the task. Attainment value is when students receive a sense of achievement upon completing the task. Lastly, utility value is when students find that the task will benefit one's career or other personal goals. The most important motivation teachers want to give their students is internal motivation. By doing so, students are not going to want to learn just for the sake of receiving some type of reward after. The students will instead want to learn because they have a hunger and desire to grow as people.
Therefore, the first strategy a teacher can use to enhance motivation is to use KWL charts. First, the teacher will ask the students what they already know about the topic and what they want to know about the topic before teaching the lesson. Therefore, the teacher can cater to the interests of the students. After the lesson is taught, the teacher will ask students to write about what they have learned from the lesson. This strategy creates motivated learners because the curriculum is relevant and tailored to students' interests. Another way to motivate students is by differentiating learning and giving them the option to learn using techniques that they excel in. This will create a feeling of self-worth and confidence in students, which will increase students' motivation for learning while meeting their academic needs. Using modifications as a tool for students to complete a task is a good way to differentiate learning. For example, assign a project in which students can either write an essay or create a music video to receive an A on a project. Therefore, students who enjoy music and students who enjoy writing will both be motivated to do the assignment. Behavior. Minor disruptions within a classroom are a given, but persistent behavior problems can severely disrupt the classroom environment and lead to a decrease in student learning. It is imperative that all teachers have appropriate skills for working to combat behavior problems in the classroom. Effective problem solving and assertive discipline are some of the most basic as well as some of the least time-consuming methods that teachers can use to accomplish this task. Our philosophy for managing behavior begins with Lee Cantor's model of assertive discipline. Cantor's philosophy aligns with our philosophy in the sense that both involve a high level of teacher control in the classroom. Teachers should control their classroom in a firm but positive manner, as well as clearly and consistently define the limits of acceptable and unacceptable student behavior. The underlying goal of assertive discipline is to allow teachers to engage students in the learning process uninterrupted by students' misbehavior.
A way to incorporate assertive discipline into the classroom is to use the color-coded card system. The way that the color-coded card system works is by first informing the students of classroom rules. If the teacher faces rule violation, the teacher will change the color of the student's card based on the number of times the student misbehaves. Each color card comes with its own set of consequences that the students are aware of beforehand. This system minimizes student misbehavior in the classroom because students are aware of the classroom rules and the consequences for breaking the rules before they choose to misbehave. This system also allows students a chance to stop their misbehavior before becoming worse because there are different levels of consequences built into the system. Assertive discipline can be seen as a more universal way of combating student misbehavior in the classroom. However, if problems persist even after using assertive discipline, teachers can proceed to use Glasser's problem-solving method. There are 7 steps to Glasser's method. The first step is to establish a warm relationship with your student. The teacher should make it clear that he or she cares about the student's needs and wants. The second step is to deal with the present behavior. The teacher should have the student describe the behavior and bring awareness to the inappropriate action that took place. The third step is to make a value judgment. The teacher should help the student realize the behavior and determine why the behavior was inappropriate. The fourth step is to work out a plan. The teacher should have the student determine whether the behavior is desirable, and then come up with a meaningful plan to change the behavior. The most important thing is for the student to come up with a plan so that the student must take full responsibility. The fifth step is to make a commitment. The teacher and the student should make a contract and state the plan of action. The sixth step is to follow up. The teacher should follow up with the student to make sure that he or she is using the plan effectively. Lastly, the teacher must not put the student's ideas down, but the teacher must also not accept excuses. Positive relationships. Teachers should not underestimate the importance of having positive relationships with their students. Teacher-student relationships provide an essential foundation for effective classroom management. By using strategies, teachers can build strong teacher-student relationships that will support student learning.
We believe that there are many ways that teachers can foster positive teacher-student relationships. There are many strategies we incorporated into our philosophy for creating positive relationships. Teachers must show appropriate levels of dominance by providing a clear purpose and strong guidance regarding both academics and student behaviors. This can be done by establishing clear expectations and consequences, clear learning goals, and exhibiting assertive behavior. For example, teachers should show appropriate levels of dominance in the classroom by using the close proximity method, by moving closer to students who are misbehaving or are off task. Also, teachers should use physical cues such as finger to the lips to establish clear expectation of student behavior. Teachers should also provide tangible recognition of appropriate behavior with rewards. In addition, teachers can establish clear learning goals by communicating the learning goals and expectations at the beginning of each lesson. Lastly, it is important for the teacher to use assertive body language such as erect posture to show an appropriate level of dominance. Our philosophy to creating positive relationships also consists of teachers displaying appropriate levels of cooperation. Cooperation is characterized by the teacher's concern for the needs and opinions of the students. Appropriate levels of cooperation is when students and teachers work as a team. For example, teachers should take a personal interest in his or her students. This can be done through informal talks with students before, during, or after class about their interests. Teachers should also greet students in school or even outside of school at extracurricular events. By using our philosophy, teachers are able to create positive teacher-student relationships when balancing appropriate levels of dominance with appropriate levels of cooperation.
Overall, our philosophy for classroom management consists of teachers who can internally motivate students. In addition, teachers will be able to minimize student misbehavior by using Glasser's effective problem-solving method and Lee Cantor's model of assertive discipline. Lastly, teachers will be able to create positive relationships with students by displaying appropriate levels of dominance and cooperation.